Whispers in the Neon, the untold stories of Pattaya's freelancers. Pattaya's nightfall, the unheard voices of freelancers. Pattaya, a coastal city ablaze with neon lights, draws travelers from every corner of the globe. They come for the sun, the beaches, the parties, buzzing about the bars, the sunsets, and the chaos of Walking Street. But behind the glitter of this tourist haven, there's a group of people rarely given a voice, the freelancers who wait on street corners, at night markets, under flickering lamps. They're part of Pattaya's nightlife, yet hardly anyone stops to ask, what do they think? As they watch tourists pass by, their eyes linger on us, what do we look like through their gaze? I've lived here for years, wandering countless streets, talking with these women. Not the shallow banter of crowded bars, but real conversations, quiet moments at dawn by the sea, late-night confessions after the markets close. If you listen closely, their stories reveal a Pattaya most visitors never see, a city not just of revelry, but of humanity, hope, and struggle. Their stories begin on the streets. Pattaya's nights are never silent. Along Beach Road, coconut palms sway in the glow of streetlights, and the laughter of tourists blends with the roar of motorbikes. Ani sits on a plastic chair, sipping a bubble tea, her eyes scanning the crowd. She's 27, from Thailand's northeast, and came to Pattaya 5 years ago. As a freelancer, she earns a living in the dark hours, supporting herself and her mother back home. People think we're heartless, Ani says with a wry smile. They assume we're only after money, that a smile and a night mean they own us. But they don't know I wake up every morning worrying if I have enough for my mom's medicine. I ask what she thinks of tourists. Her smile fades slightly. Some are kind, they ask if I'm tired, actually listen to me. But others, they just want a fantasy. They pay and think they've bought my whole life. She pauses, then adds, I'm not complaining. This is my choice. But sometimes, I wish they'd see me, not as scenery, but as a person. Ani's story isn't unique. In Pattaya, there are countless women like her. They might be daughters of market vendors, lifelines for rural families, or just ordinary girls pushed here by circumstance, learning to survive. Behind their smiles lie stories no one bothers to hear. The dance of truth and pretense. Pattaya's streets are like a grand stage, where everyone plays a part. Tourists bring money and expectations, freelancers offer companionship and smiles. On the surface, it's a fair exchange, you give me time, I give you something in return. But the truth is far messier. I met Mai, a 22-year-old who's been working in Pattaya for 3 years. She showed me a photo on her phone, her with a tourist at Jomtien Beach, the sunset painting the sky behind them. It was the first time, she said, she felt like a person, not a transaction. His name was James, from Australia, Mai recalls, a faint smile crossing her face. He wasn't like the others, rushing for something. He took me to eat seafood, asked about my childhood, taught me a few English words. I thought, maybe he was different. Her smile vanishes. After he left, he said he'd stay in touch. A month later, his number was dead. I never heard from him again. Mai's story reminds me of Noi, who I spoke with for an hour at a small bar by the night market. I've met too many guys who say they love me, she said. They give gifts, make promises. But in the end, they go back to their countries and forget everything. She shakes her head. I don't believe it anymore. Sweet words are cheaper than cash. Yet Noi admits not every tourist disappoints her. She remembers a British man in his 60s who visited Pattaya weekly, just to sit with her over coffee and talk about life. He never asked for anything, she says. He just said he liked hearing my stories. He made me feel like I was worth something, not just a price tag. These stories show me Pattaya's nights are full of contradictions. Some trade money for fleeting warmth, others offer smiles to pay the bills. Some fall in too deep, only to face silence, others stay guarded, but a rare moment cracks their shell. Who's deceiving whom? Maybe no one can answer that. Survival beyond the scars. Pattaya teaches you to protect yourself, not just freelancers, but tourists too. Ani once told me about a time she believed a tourist's promises. He said he'd take me to Europe, showed me pictures of his hometown, told me about snow, she says with a bitter laugh. I waited 6 months, texting him every day. Then I found out he had girlfriends all over Thailand. That kind of pain hurts worse than hunger. After that, Ani got smarter. She learned not to fall too easily, to keep feelings separate from work. But that doesn't mean I'm cold, she says. I just can't afford to break again. Then there's Lisa, who gave me a different angle. She's from Chiang Mai, trained as a nurse, but family debts brought her to Pattaya. I hate it here, but I have no choice, she says. I need to pay off loans, get my brother through school. Her job taught her to read people, but it also eroded her faith in them. Some guys think my smile means I'm happy. They don't see me walking home alone at 3 a.m., counting cash to survive tomorrow. Lisa's story echoes Pattaya's other face. It's not just a playground, but a battleground for survival. Freelancers here learn resilience, finding hope amid disillusionment. Lisa says her goal is to save enough to return to Chiang Mai and open a small cafe. I don't want to keep smiling like this forever, she says. I want my own life. Glimmers of hope amid reality. Despite the grind, Pattaya's freelancers aren't without dreams. I met Fern, who works nights near Walking Street but studies English by day. I want to travel abroad, not with someone else, but on my own, to see the world, she says. Her phone is filled with language apps, and she carves out time to memorize vocab. I know it's hard, but I have to try, she says, her eyes bright with determination. Then there's Pam, who uses her earnings to support an orphanage. I grew up with nothing, so I want to help others, she says. Pam's story floored me. In the eyes of many, she's just a shadow in the night, but she's quietly changing lives. These small sparks of hope are like Pattaya's morning breeze, subtle but persistent. Freelancers may be cornered by life, but they never stop searching for a way out. Their dreams might be modest, a plane ticket, a tiny shop, a stable home, but in Pattaya's chaos, they shine like rare gems. The other side of Pattaya. I've walked Pattaya's streets countless times, from the coconut-lined beach road to the neon pulse of Walking Street, from the smoky night markets to the stillness of dawn. Each time, I feel closer to the city's truth, yet further from grasping it fully. A tourist downs a beer at a bar, a woman adjusts her skirt under a street lamp. They may never cross paths, but they're both here, searching, for love, escape, or just a moment's peace. Pattaya isn't a fairy tale, nor is it a nightmare. It's a tapestry of stories, some find warmth, others learn to guard their hearts, and many just push through another day. Freelancers aren't labels or props, they're people with joys, sorrows, pasts, and futures. Next time you're in Pattaya, weaving through the crowds and music, slow down. Look into their eyes. You'll see the city's other side, not the postcard views, but the raw pulse of human lives. Someone's waiting for a chance, someone's healing a wound, someone just wants to be seen, plainly, simply seen. The weight of expectations. Beyond the personal stories, there's a broader dynamic at play in Pattaya, one shaped by expectations. Freelancers often face assumptions that strip them of individuality. People think we're all the same, says Dao, a 30-year-old I met near Soi Buako. They see me standing here and assume they know my story, poor girl, no education, desperate for money. But I went to college. I wanted to be a teacher. Dao's words hit hard. She came to Pattaya after a failed business venture left her in debt. I didn't choose this because I had no options, she explains. I chose it because it was the fastest way to fix my life. But that doesn't mean I'm not a person with dreams. She tells me she's saving to start a clothing stall at a local market, a small step toward reclaiming her future. Dao's frustration reflects a common thread, the weight of being judged. Many freelancers feel trapped between society's disdain and tourists' fantasies. Some guys treat me like I'm invisible unless they want something, she says. Others act like I'm their savior, like one night with me will fix their loneliness. Both ways, I'm not real to them. Yet Dao finds moments of connection that keep her going. She recalls a Swedish tourist who spent an evening asking about her favorite books. He didn't want anything from me, she says. He just wanted to talk. It reminded me I'm still me, not just this job. The city's rhythm. Pattaya's rhythm is relentless, day blends into night, crowds ebb and flow, and the city never sleeps. For freelancers, this pace shapes their lives. You learn to move with it, says Ploy, a 25-year-old who works near the Central Festival Mall. If you stop too long, you start thinking too much. And thinking can break you. Ploy's story is one of adaptation. She grew up in a fishing village, dreaming of city life. Pattaya was her escape, but it came with a cost. I thought I'd find freedom here, she says. Instead, I found bills, rent, and a job I never imagined doing. Yet Ploy doesn't dwell on regret. She's practical, saving every baht she can to buy land back home. One day, I'll build a house for my parents, she says. That's what keeps me standing here. Ploy's pragmatism contrasts with others who wrestle with the city's pull. I met Sam, a 29-year-old who's been in Pattaya for a decade. This place changes you, she says over a plate of som tam at a roadside stall. When I started, I was shy, trusting. Now, I can spot a liar from a mile away. Sam's learned to navigate Pattaya's undercurrents, but she admits it's taken a toll. I don't trust easily anymore, she says. Not tourists, not even myself sometimes. Still, Sam finds beauty in the chaos. She loves the early mornings, when the city is quiet, and she can walk along the shore, feeling like Pattaya belongs to her. It's like the city takes a breath before it starts shouting again, she says. Those moments make me feel human. Bridges between worlds. One question lingers as I talk to these women: can there be real connection in a place built on transactions? The answer isn't simple. For every story of betrayal, there's one of unexpected kindness. Take Mina, a 26-year-old who works near Naklur Road. She tells me about a Canadian tourist who became her friend. He came to Pattaya every year, she says. We'd meet for dinner, talk about life. He never judged me. When my sister got sick, he sent money to help. Mina's eyes soften as she speaks. He's married now, back in Canada. We still message sometimes. He's like a brother. Her story challenges the stereotype of fleeting encounters. In Pattaya, where lines blur between business and emotion, some bonds endure. Then there's Tuck, who sees connection differently. I don't look for friends here, she says bluntly.